For this reason, people are now prohibited from making snow angels. They bring grave tidings, and they serve no god. I'm Barry Biev. This is Baile Na Gótrin Radio, keeping you company in the small hours until the end. I want to spend the segment talking about messages. Because you see, sometimes what the message contains, that's the most important thing in the world, like waiting on test results or warnings during Samhain. But sometimes it's not about what is in the message. What's important is who sends the message, like dietary changes from Fright or warnings during Samhain. So when I say that a stray cat in Baile Na Gótrin can write in English, are we focusing on the fact that a cat is writing it, or that a cat is saying, I am real? Jonathan Bridgman saw the cat writing the words, I am a real, and before it could finish its sentence, it sped off into the trees. But now this raises some questions. What did it mean that it said it was real? What even is real? I hope that it's not one of these conspiracy theorists that say that Baile Na Gótrin isn't real, or that the town was built in the centre of a fairy ring and it can't exist without punishment. Can this cat exist without punishment? You see, my father used to say that when it comes to a dog walking on its hind legs, it's not the fact that it can do it well is what's important, just the fact that it can do it. So are we focusing on messages, or the fact that a cat is sending them? I did some detective work about this, believe it or not, why we got reports of this cat, and I cross-referenced it. Did you know that that's not a thing in the movies? You can actually just cross-reference things. But I cross-referenced it with the missing animals database, and I found that one Petronella Kittler is missing one of her cats, her little Xander. The Xander is a small black cat with white around its nose and a gorgeous blue set of eyes that look at you like they want you to do something. Like all their 9 lives depend on it. Wow, this is a really vivid description. Petronella writes, unimaginable prices lie to the person who returned my little Xander. And that price is doubled if you do not listen to its lies. Okay. Well look, hopefully Petronella gets her cat back, and in the meantime, I hope that she can understand how any he or she who may or may not be hosting a radio show may have made a blunder or two, and may make some more until we can confirm the nature of the situation. You know, the message texted in by Joan Collins said that the cat had written in the park using leaves, I am a real person. Now isn't that sweet? Of course animals are people. All the animals I know, their owners would call them people, family even. And don't we all know someone who calls himself a parent to a cat or a lizard or a dog or a shadow? I myself, look, I'm not a fan of animals, but they all deserve love and home and food, just like any other person would. I think this world would be a lot nicer if we just treated more things like people. Hell, you know what? We sometimes even have the problem of treating people like people, either because of nationality, creed, gender, affiliations, anything. But does any of this really matter? Because we're all one family of people, you know? Petronella has just texted in. Hopefully she's found her little Xander. Oh, okay. How could you do this? I have given so much to this town. I have kept Mr. Light at bay. I even know the new name and I kept quiet. Maybe my gifts aren't appreciated here and I should take my protections from Baile Na Gótrin. Petronella, we are always happy to take complaints about this station's conduct, as we always try to better ourselves, both on this show and in this town as well, I think. But complaints are sent to Foyle's Entertainment Committee. We are getting more text about this mystery cat and its messages like, beware her power, save me, I am a man. But look, I want to take some time out of all of our nights just to talk a little bit about anger. Like, we all get angry from time to time, and that doesn't make us bad people. Even having angry thoughts, that's okay. Like, there's this shop owner who's definitely going to remain nameless, who always has this glum face during the hours you'd find secondary school students buying their rolls and their cans and stuff like that. I think he hates kids. I genuinely think he hates kids. But why? Why would you set up your shop round the corner from a secondary school? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. Stop living such a miserable life, Jim. It could be any Jim. But anyway, this random undisclosed person, I have angry thoughts about him. But that doesn't make me a bad person. Even voicing these things, these don't necessarily make me a bad person. It's when we act on those thoughts, when we act to harm others, that's when we know that anger has taken over. So for anyone listening, a little anger, that's okay. We're not put on this earth to destroy. We're all people at the end of the day, all creatures great and small. Now we're just going to go over some text about our mystery. We're in the middle. Okay, my guy behind the glass is doing a big arm wave that I should read an email that we've just gotten in from a Martin Bennett 91. I am real. I am a person. I am not a cat. She has power. I've been trying to warn everyone in town to get out. She's the most powerful person here. Well, don't tell anybody and fool that. She's hurt me and the others. Someone needs to help change me back before... It just stops there. Okay. A lot to unpack there, But there's barely any time for that because we've gotten a message from Petronella saying that she has found her little Xander. Isn't that great? Also as well, something to note, Xander and Martin have two different names, and one of them quite clearly is a cat, and the other one emphatically stated that he is in fact not a cat. So these are two completely different people. We can safely assume that they are unconnected in any way, shape or form. So to Petronella, I hope having your cat back gives you some relief from tonight's events. The story has come to a close, and it doesn't need to go on, okay? I hope as well that Martin is safe. With any luck, he too has found a place that he belongs, somewhere safe and sound, like little Xander. And I hope you listening, I hope you too have somewhere safe and sound to belong. Baile Na Gótrin has some dark corners, like any town. But we have people who love and care for each other. And maybe, if we're not in a good place now, we can find each other, and then, together, we can find safer surroundings, eh, Martin? Who knows? Next time, we have some people talking about those lights in the creek. Well, lucky for you, Fanuda Longheart from the water company is coming to tell us all about them. I've been Barry Biev, you've been Baile Na Gótrin, and we've kept each other company in the small hours. But now it must all end. You've been listening to Baile Na Gótrin, made by me, Jacob Wordsmith. If you enjoyed this episode, there's appropriate buttons to press and boxes to write in to show your support. You can also follow the show on its socials, which are Baile Na Gótrin on Instagram and Baile Na Gótrin on TikTok. As well as that, if you want to get a closer look at the production, or maybe get involved in the production, the Baile Na Gótrin Patreon page is there for you. Oh, one more thing. Thank you for coming to town.